भाई इतने अच्छे बाल हेडफोन पहन के तो साले पूरे दब जाते हैं। ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। हैप्पी बर्थडे बर्थडे बर्थडे।
When I first began aim training, I lowered my sensitivity to about 74 cm 360, meaning I had to move my mouse 74 centimeters across my pad in order to do a full rotation in game. This is absurdly low, but it strengthened my tracking, at least I thought.
माका से भी लो।
There are aiming issues that I feel are universal to both new and experienced aimers/gamers, which is trying to predict your target's movement before it happens. Watching new players or being a new player, the one glaring issue is snapping side to side while trying to track a smooth moving target. This mostly comes from that predicting thought process. As a side note, it also comes from tensing your muscles too much, but we'll talk about that later. Instead of trying to predict movement, we need to learn movement, what certain things mean and lead to. The split second of slowing down a target does before a strafe, the character's change in leg movements, and so on. As you watch this clip slow down, notice that the target slows into a direction change, not an immediate change. By understanding this, we can translate that movement into our hand movement by imagining we're drawing a very narrow, but still rounded angle. This changes aim training from predicting a target's movement to reading a target's movement. This shift in perspective is important because then we realize that aiming is heavily reliant on reaction time. Being able to read a target's movement is the goal. This inherently means that aim training is also training our reaction time. By having our reaction time minimized and our natural aim skill honed, when we play any FPS, our focus can be completely put on learning the game's unique mechanics and abilities, instead of whether we can aim or not. This is why aim trainers improve in respective FPS games quicker than casual players. Sensitivity is linked to the idea of muscle memory, the idea that as time goes on, we train our muscles to react appropriately based on our current sensitivity. But the reality of muscle memory is that we're training our reactions, or muscles, in response to visual stimuli regardless of sensitivity. If you take a given scenario and your average score is 150 while using a sensitivity of 38 centimeters 360, if you switch to 24 cm, your score will be relatively similar. This simple practice immediately disproves the traditional idea of muscle memory. We're reacting to what we experience on screen. If the game we're playing mostly consists of slow horizontal movement-based targets, then it's unnecessary and often detrimental to run a fast
गांड में बड़ी लात never mind learn अरे
sensitivity. We can run a sensitivity like 24 cm in a game like Counter-Strike, but the amount of stress that put on our hands is unnecessary, and the game's reliance on precision would be punishing. The purpose of a sensitivity range is for the movement of our hands to roughly match the range of movement speed and verticality of the respective game. Having a slower sense simply makes precise aiming easier. Having a faster sense makes aiming at wide ranges easier. Put simply, every FPS game has a sensitivity range. It's good to respect this range and fall somewhere within it if you're looking for a good starting place. I'll link a reference to sensitivity ranges based on games in the description. The naturally occurring within it if you're looking for a good starting place. I'll link a reference.
मिनी गॉड स्नेल में आता हूँ 84 है मेरी 84 to 90 बैक 80 ब्लॉक्स माइंड का मसल मेमोरी कॉनोइस योर्स अरे अरे अरे यार 46 tortoise sloth snail mini god bro is like up against the like slow sensitivity okay मिनी गॉड डाल के रखा है मिनी गॉड सीएस की कितनी है सेंसिटिविटी अरे देखो मिनी गॉड सीएस सेंसिटिविटीज क्यों मतलब ऐसा क्यों है अरे माइनक्राफ्ट क्यों भाई मिनी गॉड सीएस डालता है क्या कुछ, यानी इन्फो है क्या उसका? इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इनपुट लाइन नहीं डालता, ये बहुत पहले के वर्ड है। हाँ, ओका ओका ओका, पूरे फिर वर्ड ही वर्ड है। डैम भाई, नाइस यार, अच्छा लगता है, लोग इतने डेडिकेटेड रहते हैं।
Reference to sensitivity ranges based on games in the description. The naturally occurring sense ranges for games are based upon the movement and mechanics of the given game. Generally speaking, the more verticality or faster the movement, the higher the sense range. The reason we want to match the movement of the game itself is to maximize our hand movement efficiency. Too high of a sensitivity and we fatigue our wrist and hand, too low and we fatigue our arm. If you experience things like aches, sharp pains, muscle spasms, or cramping, you're overstressing your muscles and need to correct your technique. Being mindful of our health comes down to tension management, the act of spreading out moments of tension for when it's necessary, not when we're nervous or unsure. When we're trying to track a target, especially in a high-tension situation, our nerves get to us and we tense up our muscles. This is why we can have moments where something is standing still and we miss every shot, losing the round. Managing your tension equals less fuck-ups and better aim and mouse control. Let's recap. Rely on correctly reading your target's movements, not so much predicting their movement. Don't get stuck on what sense you use. Choose a sense in the proper range and adjust it to your
स्पिरिट का किधर डिसअपीयर पता नहीं। हेलो आर्कन, हेलो बीट भाई, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। हेलो आइरिस, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम।
liking.
है
Be mindful of how much
विटी टीटीज, ये सब क्या बोल रहे? सेंसिटिविटीज,
tension you have in your wrist,
सेंसिटिविटी,
hand, or arm. Tension is good, but only in moderation. And last of all, be consistent. Aim,
उसका
train, and practice your main
ग्राफ
FPS
देख
as
रहा था मैं।
consistently as possible. Consistency beats lazy talent. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
क्या क्या
It's
बोल
good
दिया लास्ट में?
and we miss every shot. Rely on correctly reading your target's movements, not so much predicting their movement. Don't get stuck on what sense you use. Choose a sense in the proper range and adjust it to your liking. Be mindful of how much tension you have in your wrist, hand, or arm. Tension is good, but only in moderation. And last of all, be consistent. Aim, train, and practice your main FPS as consistently as possible. Consistency beats lazy talent. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
नहीं, अभी मेरे को ग्राफ देखना था उसका, रुको वापस से, इधर गया।
When I first began aim training, I lowered my sensitivity
ये देखो,
starting place. I'll link a reference to
ये देखो ना, लाइक सेंसिटिविटी जो लाइक 60 से नीचे है, लाइक स्लो, वेरी स्लो, टॉर्टोइज, स्लॉथ, स्नेल, मिनी गॉड। इसको सिंपल रेंज बनाना था 0 से 20, 20 टू 40, 40 टू 60, और फिर उसका 60 के ऊपर जो भी है फिर डॉट डॉट डॉट डॉट, क्योंकि 20 के नीचे ही बहुत वो हो जाता है। ठीक है, नूब रेंज, रोब्लॉक्स, 10 रोबक्स। No average for R6 in Fortnite was calculated due to missing data and varying ADS hipfire. Okay. Disclaimer, these are simply typical ranges for sensitivities. Average and ranges calculated via prosettings.com. Okay. Calculated by Voltaic. Teeny. ठीक है भाई, सीनी, ठीक है यार, ठीक है यार, होगा कोई फंसी। अरे यार बीएड भैया, रैंक अभी डायमंड 2 हो गया है, जल्दी जल्दी स्पीड रन कर रहा हूँ मैं, रैंक लैडर उतर रहा हूँ अपनी, तो I'm on my way. नूब रेंज, रिएक्टिव रेंज, ये कौन गेम का वो भूल गया मैं। फक, कंप्लीट ओवरवॉच 35। नॉइस योर्स। 40 एवरेज, मैं 40 एवरेज करके चलना चाहता था, बट हियर आई एम। कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी 40, फोर्टनाइट वारीज Apex का 30 एवरेज. Precision clicking range. ठीक है यार. Snappy Lawson से भी 0.1.
Spike down mid.
55 to jet.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, wow.
Curse. Oh, we go.
Black B-Link. Should be 3 by now.
तो जब कीबोर्ड है भाई
okay,
फटर फटर. अबे मेरा वैल्यू क्रैश कब हो गया? मैंने डेथ मैच क्यों किया था पता नहीं.
Today I'm going
Brutally.
to rank the most popular gaming mice from D all the way to S tier. Starting with the Logitech G502, this mouse would be an instant S tier if it was 2016. But today, this mouse is nothing but a joke. The mouse weighs over 120 grams, uses some of the worst stock PTFE skates, has terrible rubber cable, and the design looks like it was made by ChatGPT. I know I'll get a lot of hate for saying this, but the mouse is just terrible, and we got the Viper V3 Pro, and this mouse goes straight to A tier without any questions. Unlike the G502, this mouse only weighs 54 grams while not having to fit a whole S battery in there. Besides that, the mouse has one of the best sensors out there and some of the lowest click delay a wireless mouse can have. It also has one of my favorite symmetrical mouse shapes any mouse can have. It costs around $150, and in my opinion you can find mice that are 95% as good for like half the price. Up next, we got the Blackshark X3, which is a mouse that went viral on TikTok as the $50 G Pro X Super Light alternative. But I got to break the news to you, this mouse is just mid. The mouse is littered with terrible
वेट बैलेंस नहीं रहता.
quality, questionable performance, and a god-awful battery life. I'm pretty sure most
साइड बाय साइड उठा के देखो, महंगे माउस साइड सेम शेप है तो क्या हो गया? वेट बैलेंस अलग
people
रहता.
who bought this mouse received it
एक
broken
प्रीमियमनेस अलग ही समझ आती.
because at the peak of its popularity, I was seeing reports after E tier because it's like $40 and it has 3039. Extremely overpriced. It costs around $160 and offers nothing a mouse for $80 would not offer. The G Pro X Superlight 2 has some of the worst stock PTFE skates I had the displeasure of ever using, while having some of the least responsive side buttons as well. Now, I would not complain about this as much if it was not for the fact that this mouse costs 100 click higher, but for the price they're just tier. This is OP188K V2, and I'm going to have to put this mouse into the S tier. This is the best mouse when it comes to performance, having just 70 microseconds delay and the 309050, which is the best widely available sensor out. The mouse is also built like a tank. I had the V1 version of this mouse and I totally recommend checking it out if you care about performance and quality above all else. The mouse is also easily customizable and even comes with a screwdriver allowing you to switch the switches in like 5 minutes. Next up, we got the VXC R1 Pro. I'm giving this mouse a solid A tier as it costs $30 and has surprisingly good performance, a very comfortable shape and even 4K polling. This mouse destroys the Blackshark in every category and offers a really good performance for a
अगर इसे
relatively
shape है और
affordable price. This is one of my go-to mice when somebody asks me what gaming mouse they should buy. The mouse also has a low weight and a decent battery performance for the price. Moving on, we have the newest release from Razer, the DeathAdder V4. The DeathAdder V4 has everything you would expect from high-end Razer mouse. It has currently the best sensor, which can go as high as 45k DPI. The mouse also uses the newest V4 optical switches, which actually feel good. The shape is the same as the one in DeathAdder V3, which is one of my personal favorite mouse shapes, as it literally feels like a glove when holding. I promise I'm not getting paid by Razer to say this, but this mouse gets an easy S tier for having the best performing sensor, one of my favorite shapes, and some of the best optical switches out paying. Next up we have the Skyrox V6 and is going right next to the DeathAdder V4 at S tier. This mouse is basically a Razer Viper Mini Pro for only $70, which is genuinely insane, as if any other brand would make this, they would charge a minimum of $100 for this, but Skyrox is just a G. This mouse is one of the most high quality mice I've ever tried, having a very nice premium coating.
V8 भी है ऐसे, V6 भी है.
This is for only $74 at S
Final
tier.
mouse
This
with
mouse
that.
is V6 and is going right next to the DeathAdder V4 at S tier. This mouse is basically a Razer Viper Mini Pro for only $70, which is genuinely insane, as if any other brand would make this, they would charge
Crazy है भाई वो mouse. $20. ये तो चाहिए यार मेरे को. चैट कौन कर रहा? ए मैं नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर रहा जिसका भी इनवाइट है अभी.
charge a minimum of $100 for this, but Skyrox is just a G. This mouse is one of the most high quality mice I've ever tried, having a very nice premium coating, a 30, 90, 50, 8K polling, and weighs only 40 grams. Also, the box opens like some sort of jack in a box, so bonus points for that. Lastly, the last mouse in today's video is the final mouse, WallHack, which I will put into D tier. Before you get mad at me for putting the mouse clicks uses into D tier, hear me out. The reason this mouse is this low in the list is because of final mouse QC issues. I don't know if that's just me or my broke has list is because clicks uses into D tier, hear me out. The reason this mouse is this low in the list is because of final mouse QC issues. I don't know if that's just me or my broke has, but if I were to pay over $200 for a mouse, I would expect it to not have any quality problems with shell or switches.
Absolutely rock solid, rock solid.
But that doesn't seem to be the case with the final mouse, as a lot of their mice come with creaking, side bending, or switch flexing, which would be acceptable for like $50 or $60 mouse, but for $200 this is just a scam. I would avoid this mouse and get the Beast X Max instead, which costs less. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if I missed any mouse and tell me if you agree or disagree, which costs less. Thank you all for
Beast
I would
X.
avoid this mouse and get the Beast X Max instead.
Beast X Max. मैग्नीशियम गेमिंग माउस अपने इंडिया में भी है उसका. सील प्राइसिंग का 13,000 प्री ऑर्डर अभी करो. मुझे क्रेजी है भाई. लास्ट माउस ब्रो. ये सब साला ग्लास पैड के साथ खेलो, गांड लग जाएगी भाई, मजा आ जाएगी. क्लोथ के लिए ये सब भाई. क्लोथ माउस पैड खेलो इससे. ग्लास पैड ये सब माउस. फाइनल माउस हो गया वो जो बताया उसने, स्काईरॉक्स V6. स्काईरॉक्स तो अगर देखो भाई, येलो वाला भी क्रेजी दिख रहा है. ग्रिपिंग भी अच्छी आती होगी. अरे वाह, ये वो है. ओ माय गॉड भाई, लवाओ. ये तुम्हारा हाँ यार, क्या नाम है यार, वो भी ये यूज करता है, ये वाला लेवेंडर. सेंसिटिविटी इतनी हाई यार क्लास पैड का crazy.
That which cost less. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if I missed any mouse and what is up guys, in today's video I'm going to show you guys the top 5 best gaming mousepads you can buy in 2025. I included many different types of mousepad variants such as control, glass and budget options so that everyone in this video will find at least one mousepad that will suit them. So without further ado, let's get straight into the list. Starting the list at number 5 we got
Titan होगा एक में तो
one of my favorite control mousepads out right now, that being the Lethal Gaming Gear Jupiter Pro V2. This is one of the slowest mousepads out right now. The mousepad has 3 different sizes, that being large, square and XXL. The mousepad also has 3 different hardness levels to it, with firm being the fastest and soft X soft being slower. The mousepad is what's often called a mod pad because of how slow it is, but in my opinion it should be called something like the cement pad because of how much slower it is compared to like the Giantus V2 or the Zoe GSR2. When using this mousepad in games such as CS2 or Valorant, you feel this level of control over every move you make that could only be described as omnipotence. Using this mousepad makes holding corners and flicks feel so easy. Of course I'm exaggerating a little bit because this mousepad isn't going to turn you into the next dunk, but it's still one of the best mousepads for slower paced games such as CS2 or Valorant if you're more gay. Moving on, I pick a mousepad which is the best if you're on a budget, that being the QCK Performance Speed. The mousepad goes on Amazon for around $35, and for that price you're getting a very good mousepad which performs just as well as more expensive mousepads from Pulsar or Lethal Gaming Gear. You can get this mouse in 3 different surfaces, that being speed, control and balance. Personally, my favorite version of this mousepad is the speed one, as it is really similar to the Radiant at more than half the price. The speed version of this pad is definitely suited mostly for games like Fortnite or Apex, as the surface is extremely quick. The mousepad also has stitched edges, and a very this list is going to be the WallHack VA005. This, in my opinion, is the best glass mousepad you can buy. Glass mousepads are generally very polarizing, with many people absolutely despising them and others saying that is the only mousepads they will ever use. Glass pads are extremely low friction and require extreme, and I mean
glass pads are future bro.
extreme mouse control to use effectively. When it comes to glass mousepad, WallHack is often considered to be the best, and their mousepads feel extremely premium. The VA005 is their newest release, and it offers a very nice ergonomic design, very consistent glide, and like previously said, extreme speed. The price is very high at over $170, but if you're really into aiming and enjoy using low friction glass pads, I think the VA005 is a good investment. Moving on to the 4th mousepad in this video, I have decided to pick the Infinity Speed V2. As the name suggests, the Infinity Speed is a very fast mousepad suited for fast-paced games. Infinity Mice are a fairly new company, but their mousepads in my opinion are really good for the price. The Infinity
इसका एक आया था भाई इन्फिनिटी माउस का अभी अभी नया आया भाई
Speed V2
मनन 3D कैसा चल रहा है नहीं कर रहा
The
कुछ भी
mousepad has a very smooth texture and makes your mouse glide like butter over it, while still offering a tiny bit of control. The stitching is extremely high quality, and the Poron foam is extremely dense and even has custom print on the bottom of it. The best part about this mouse is that it isn't even as expensive as most mousepads on this list, and only costs like $45, which is fairly reasonable for the quality you're receiving. If you're searching for a speed pad, I recommend buying this one. The last mousepad in this list is going to be none other than the Artisan Zero. The Artisan Zero is as close as it gets to the perfect mousepad. The Artisan Zero is a very balanced pad which is suited for basically all games you can think of. Mousepads from Artisan are generally extremely high quality, but this in my opinion is the best one. Like Nike has Air Force Ones, Artisan has Artisan Zero. The mousepad is extremely well made with very tight stitching and a texture surface that is easy to move your mouse on while still having decent stopping power to help you with your flicks. If you're the type of guy who plays a lot of different types of games, I recommend checking this mousepad out. Artisan are a bit on the pricey side, but I think they're worth the money. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope
आओ खेले सिंघाई अरे रीस्टार्ट इसलिए किया था लामो
Can't see anything.
Player standing.
Fight on it. Wait, guys,
I don't think I pushed.
हैप्पी बर्थडे वन रेबी पिंग इतनी आई क्यों आ रही है यार 40 आ रही है मेरे को 40 आ गई मेरे को देख के पिंग इतनी आई Wing, wing, wing.
In 10 seconds, I want you to tell me what's strange about this mouse. It all seems fairly standard. It has an average number of buttons, it's not vertical, it's not steampunk, there's no holes, it's just a normal mouse. Right? But when I put a G Pro Superlight next to it, the answer becomes obvious. This thing is tiny. That mouse is part of a growing niche of mice that look like this. They don't seem to make that much sense. Why would you ever want a mouse that's so much smaller than your hand? But in order to understand that, we need to first understand the mouse grip these mice are designed for. The fingertip grip. The least popular, most unstable grip, where you only have your fingers touching the mouse and your palm doesn't make contact at all. But if you ask the internet about which grip style is best, they might tell you that fingertip grip is what's theoretically optimal. Because you aren't making palm contact, you unlock a whole new ability. The freedom to
Match found.
दिमाग पॉल्यूट हो जाता मेरा भी
Death match. Warm up.
Hesitation is for amateurs. Let's go.
Fight.
Time to work.
हेला
Goodbye. Hush. Pardon. Night night. İyi geceler. Sniper down. Selam. Bam. Selam. Ah be abi, pardon. Enemy down.
Ten kills remaining.
Selam. Selam. Selam.
5 kills remaining.
Selam.
1 kill remaining.
Sleep. Nice try. Better than being at the bottom.
इनवाइट कौन ने किया था? ऑफलाइन डेथ मैच खेलेगा साथ करते डुओ
Match
कर
found.
सकते हैं ना? बेस बूस्टेड आवाज आई कुछ? बास बूस्टेड
Death match. Warm up.
I'm sorry. No.
Fight.
We go! Hello. One dead. We tend to dust. I'm sorry. Jet grounded. Sky killed. I'm sorry. Sky killed.
Kills remaining. Five kills remaining. One kill remaining.
पिंग इतनी आई कि और ही पता नहीं यार 64 आ रही है सिंगापुर में राउटर रीस्टार्ट करूं हांगकांग का हटा ही देता हूँ Forever.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with a cure. No.
Fight!
For you, hermanita. Forgive me. Ay, corazón. Insecto. Ay, corazón. Die. Embarrassing.
साइकिल लॉक से आ रहा है क्या मेरे को? ये जीरो दिखा रहा है। बॉट लॉबी में मैं भी एक बॉट अच्छा
Forgive me. Insecto. Your souls. For them.
Dominating.
मेरा नीचे नीचे आई गन पुल आउट एनिमेशन क्या थी वो? हेलो
Pathetic. Hola.
Ten kills remaining.
Finished. Too rich.
Five kills remaining.
Finished. Nice try.
सॉरी
One kill remaining.
Forgive me. It's playtime. Pathetic. Someone else will clean up. I don't take out the trash.
मैं राउटर रीस्टार्ट करूं क्या? क्विक सुप मगर मेरी वाईटी की स्ट्रीम छूट जाएगी। स्लीपिंग सही नहीं आ रही। आता हूँ मैं, न्यू स्ट्रीम चालू कर लूंगा। देखते हैं।